A lot of business owners get stuck on one question: should my business be an LLC or an S Corp? On the surface, those labels sound similar. Under the surface, they do very different jobs. One sits on the legal side, one sits on the tax side. Mixing them up can leave a business exposed or overcomplicated. In this video, you will walk through 3 questions that help sort out which option deserves a closer look and when it makes sense to talk with a professional. My name is Kim Clenney, and I'm an attorney in Montgomery, Alabama, with Clenney and Palmer Attorneys at Law. Along with my law partner, Deborah Palmer, I help business owners choose legal structures. What you hear today is general information, not legal advice for any specific person. Your personal facts and Alabama law always matter. Before those 3 questions, a quick foundation helps. An LLC is a legal structure under state law. Filing LLC paperwork with Alabama creates a separate legal entity. That entity can sign contracts, lease space, own equipment, and open bank accounts in its own name. When handled properly, an LLC can help create a line between business activity and personal life, especially around liability. An S Corp works differently. An S Corp status is a federal tax election. Certain entities, including an LLC, can choose to be taxed under S Corp rules when the requirements are met and the numbers support that choice. Legal structure and tax status are related yet separate. So the real question usually sounds like this: should my business stay under default tax rules for an LLC, or is it time to elect S Corp treatment? 3 questions can help with that decision. First question: how important does liability protection feel right now? New owners often begin by operating in a personal name. Money lands in a personal bank account. Contracts, if they exist, use the individual's name. Under that setup, business activity and personal life blend together. Revenue belongs to the person. Debts and legal issues do as well. Forming an LLC can help create a legal boundary. An LLC can hold contracts, carry insurance, and interact with customers under the company name. When the owner keeps business and personal finances separate and follows the rules, courts have a clear line between the individual and the company. No structure removes risk completely. Yet an LLC often gives stronger protection than operating with no entity at all. S Corp status does not replace that foundation. S Corp status simply changes how an eligible business is taxed. Legal protection begins with the entity under state law, with the S Corp label. So when work is growing, clients are signing agreements, and everything still sits in a personal name, the first step usually involves forming an LLC and putting basic documents in place. That may include an operating agreement, core contracts, and any licenses Alabama requires for your industry. Only after that base exists does an S Corp election ever sit on the table. Second question, how much consistent profit does that business earn after expenses and after paying you a reasonable amount for your work? S Corp treatment often comes up in conversations about taxes. Owners hear phrases like save on self-employment tax and want access to that benefit. Context matters a lot here. Under S Corp rules, an owner who works in the business must receive reasonable compensation for that work. In simple terms, the IRS expects a real paycheck before extra profit flows out as owner distributions. Those distributions may receive different tax treatment than wages. When profit levels are strong, steady, that split can reduce certain taxes. Profit level and stability matter. When profit is low, irregular, or hard to measure because bookkeeping is behind, added complexity from payroll and extra filing can swallow any benefit. Under those conditions, an S Corp election may not move the needle in a way that's helpful. Once profit becomes clear and consistently higher than a fair salary for an owner, a serious S Corp conversation can make sense. At that stage, a CPA or tax professional can compare different scenarios and show how each one affects taxes and cash flow. So look at your numbers honestly. Strong, steady profit and expenses and owner's pay point toward an S Corp review. Then margins or unpredictable income usually point toward keeping a simpler tax setup while focusing on clean books and growth. Third question, how much administrative work are you willing to handle in exchange for possible tax savings? S Corp treatment often brings extra moving pieces. Payroll usually enters the picture. Additional tax forms appear each year. Rules around reasonable compensation needs attention. Deadlines multiply. Professional help becomes more important, not less. Some owners feel comfortable with that level of structure. A team may already exist, or trusted advisors may already support the business. In that situation, extra forms and payroll steps can feel manageable, especially if the numbers show a clear benefit. Other owners already feel stretched by daily operations, marketing, client work, and family responsibilities. For those owners, adding payroll systems and new compliance rules can increase stress without delivering meaningful savings. So ask yourself a direct question. Do I have the bandwidth and support to keep up with extra filing and payroll, or do I need a simpler structure for now? Honest answers matter more than catchy advice online. Those three questions work together. First, liability concerns toward forming an entity such as an LLC, so business activity does not sit entirely in a personal name. Second, profit level and consistency help whether S Corp treatment deserves a closer look with a tax professional. Third, comfort with additional administration helps decide whether the structure on paper lines up with what life actually feels like week to week. Structure choices should support your business instead of fighting against it. Some owners truly benefit from remaining under default LLC tax rules for a while, even after filing formation paperwork. Others reach a point where an S Corp election paired with strong bookkeeping and good advice lines up well with their goals. Business owners in Alabama do not have to navigate this alone. At Clenney Palmer Attorneys at Law in Montgomery, Alabama, our firm helps founders and established owners choose structures that match their goals, risk levels, and day-to-day reality. Starting a business or restructuring an existing one means the legal structure you choose now can shape taxes, liability, and long-term growth. For that reason, my law partner, Deborah Palmer, and I are offering a free business structure consultation for Alabama businesses. During this consultation, we help you decide which structure first fits best, whether that looks like an LLC, an S Corp election for an existing entity, a corporation, a partnership, or a nonprofit. We walk through ways to protect personal assets within the law. We explain which core documents you need in place to stay compliant in Alabama. We also highlight common mistakes that trip up first-time founders so you can avoid those headaches. Business owners in and around Montgomery who want help working through these choices can book a free business structure consultation using the link in the description of this video. After you complete the short form, our office will follow up with available times and next steps. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I will see you in the next video.